Hey guys, welcome back to the next episode of the top 20 so far fragrances that I consider worthy of repurchasing, or that I have repurchased because I've found them worthy. So I've gone through a few and now it's time to go through a few more. Number 19 on this list of fragrances that I have repurchased because I deem them worthy of a repurchase is this one here, L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme. Now, this is the eau de parfum. I did have Lidge, the original Lidge with the black sort of sides and bottom of the bottle. That was ridiculous, but it was a different scent. I mean, it's similar but different, if you know what I mean. So this is the second bottle of this one, the L'Instant de Guerlain. I had one bottle of L'Instant de Guerlain Eau Extreme, I think that's what it was called. But again, I couldn't get that anymore because that got discontinued, and it infuriates me. But this was a close second. And I think I like the sparkle on this one a little bit better. Longevity I had no problems with. It's just the sillage, the actual projection of it was hindered, let's say. But again, it's a fantastic scent. This, I think, has also been discontinued. And now they come in different kinds of bottles, like the standard Guerlain bottles. Now, I don't know about you, but fragrance houses that sort of standardize all of their bottles to be the exact same, I understand what they're doing. They're getting familiarity so that when you see a bottle of that shape, you will instantly know what house it's from, and you will have that familiarity from one scent to the other. But I don't like it because it hinders creativity and it doesn't really tell you what the scent is all about. Like we saw before, the bottle for Nemo was shaped like a Y. Let me just bring it back. The bottle for Nemo was shaped like a Y for the Y chromosome. That's why it's shaped like a Y, because it's for men. I'm sure that went over the heads of many when this was released. And it suited the fragrance just fine because I was very introspective. But we're talking about this one right now, which is the L'Instant de Guerlain pour Homme. And this chocolate and patchouli and citrus at the top, it was just so good. I actually got reminded of this a few weeks ago when I found a bottle of it at a department store, this one. And I said, oh wow, this is a tester, let me test this out. Do you have this? And they had a look, and of course they said, oh no, that's discontinued, and promptly put it away in a shelf somewhere. I asked if I could buy it, but they wouldn't let me because of health and safety reasons, which is really odd because that tester bottle is just on a shelf and everybody can just go and spray it on themselves. That's okay, but you can't sell it. That's not okay. I don't know. But anyway, I am yet to try the new formulation, or I guess the new bottles of the L'Instant de Guerlain. I hear they're quite similar, but then there's some people that are telling me that they're not similar at all in terms of depth, in terms of longevity, and in terms of scent itself. And that's a bit worrying. So I might need to test that one out first before I make the plunge, because these aren't ever sort of very cheap. And if you can find one of these guys on the grey market, they are fetching a pretty high price. Not too unreasonable, but a pretty high price considering they're only a 75 milliliter. And if you do find the L'Instant de Guerlain Eau Extreme with the black edges and bottom of the bottle, that's not even like gold, that's like platinum. It's so expensive. if you can find it, which you probably can't. So anyway, that would be number 19 in this list. And finally, we have the last one, the last fragrance that I think is worthy of a repurchase. And I have repurchased this fragrance many times. It was my first ever fragrance that I purchased with my own pocket money at the time that I earned doing chores around the house. It was 1988 when I first purchased this, and I wore it. I would have been 10, but I still wore it. I didn't wear it to school or anything like that, but I wore it on weekends when we went out to visit other families or when we went out to balls or functions and things like that. And it would sit in my parents' bedroom on my dad's side because technically that's where it would sit. It wouldn't sit in my room until many years later when I purchased my third bottle, but he would never use it. It would always be me going into his room and spraying this on. I don't have a bottle of it in my collection, funny enough. I've not repurchased this for well over 25 years now. 25 years I haven't repurchased this since 1995. That was the last time I went through a bottle of this. So I might just buy one just for shits and giggles, really. I don't know if it's going to smell the same as it did back in the 80s and early 90s when I used to wear this. I hear the formulation that was done was actually pretty good, pretty accurate. But it is quite a lot cheaper than what I remember it. It is none other than the one and the only Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche. And I know everyone, or almost everyone, gets that name wrong, but Guy, in French that's pronounced Guy. So Guy Laroche, that's the name. So Drakkar Noir, I'm sure there's like a billion YouTubers that have reviewed this fragrance that can tell you what it's all about. And to me, what it's all about is something that you really wear just to be curious about what people used to wear in the past and thought was good. It's still okay, but you really wouldn't be reaching for this over anything else that is quite a lot more modern in terms of scent profile. Back in the day though, this was it. This was it. Like, you would put this on, it would be everything. It was masculine for sure, but it was not screechy. It was like somewhat aromatic even sometimes, and it had a ton of ingredients in it. Bottle was cool, you know, it was a nice black bottle, felt nice in the hand, nice and smooth. But yeah, I think I went through about 3 or 4 bottles of that in the space of about 6 years. 6 or 7 years, something like that, until I started buying, you know, the other 90s fragrances that I think I showed you a few of already. And that's it. That is it. That is the final one that I have repurchased in my collection, which is actually quite large. At the time, I must admit, I mean, being the first fragrance, you just tend to keep on buying the same thing. You don't really know anything else, so that's why I've repurchased it. And will I repurchase this one? Yeah, probably. Just to have it around and I can smell it and I can maybe remember some stuff that I've linked to that scent profile. Who knows? Who knows? But it is cheap enough to blind buy once again. It's very, very affordable these days. And yeah, that's it. 20? Did I do 20? I'm not sure. I'm really bad at counting, like I said. So I hope you enjoyed that and it gave you some ideas on what fragrances that someone like me who has a very large collection deems worthy of a repurchase or a backup bottle for that matter. Some of these you may already know quite well, but some of them you may not know. And quite a few of them, unfortunately, are, well, discontinued, for lack of a better word, and they're very difficult to find. So keep an eye out if you are curious. You may be able to find some decants or something like that online. So yeah, you can definitely try them out still. But in terms of getting a full bottle, if anyone out there has a full bottle of Gucci Port on one, or even remnants of a bottle of Gucci Port on one, let me know. But yeah, again, hope you enjoyed it, and as always, welcome to 2021, and thanks for watching.